Hey kids, how are you? It's time for the children's message, so let's pretend again, and we'll come forward and gather on the floor, okay? All right. Well, like all of you, my wife Sasha and I are staying at home these days, and that's also given me an opportunity to do some things that I've been wanting to do for a long time and just haven't gotten around to it. Well, finally, this week I finally finished a project that I've been waiting 36 years to complete. Now, you probably will find that hard to believe, but I think maybe your parents will appreciate. But I put together and finally got done my scrapbook that I put together a long time ago when I was teaching school, before I became a pastor. And I taught school for 9 years, and I had most of my scrapbook done, but the last year, my son John was born, and we were moving to seminary, and it got busy, and I didn't get it done, and I'd run out of pages, and so I finally got that together and got it all put in there. Now, I don't know, I'm going to hold up a picture here and just see if you can see this funny picture of this guy that is me a long time ago. Looks kind of funny, doesn't he? Okay, well, you know, once I got done, I was able to go through this scrapbook, and it brought back lots and lots of memories of people, of students that I had worked with, and names and things that we had done together. And so I want to just remind you as kids that one of the special gifts that God gives to us is the gift of memory, of remembering things. And even now, when you are a child, you are starting to put memories in your brain. And that's amazing that we can think about and bring those memories back and think about that. And you'll find out that every year you're going to be adding more and more memories, and the older you get, and especially somebody that's getting older like I am, it's a special gift to be able to remember some of these things. Most of them good things, some not so good. But it's a special way in which God helps us to be able to think about those people that were important in our lives, and things that we did together, and the fun that we had at one time in doing these things. And so it's a very special gift that God gives to us. Well, I want to just remind you that every Sunday when we gather together in church, and even now as we're doing with these recordings, we share in Holy Communion. And Holy Communion is one of God's gifts of remembering. And in fact, Jesus says when he gives his disciples the bread, he says, "Do this in remembrance of me." And he gives the wine and he says, "Do this in remembrance of me." And so every time we get together in church, we are remembering, thinking back all the way to 2,000 years ago, when Jesus was with his disciples, and when he died on the cross, and when he rose on Easter. And all of that is a part of our remembering as we share in this very special meal that God has given to us that we call Holy Communion. Okay, well, I hope that in this time of when we're having to stay home, that you maybe are also having some memories started that you will think back on years from now, and think about that time when we had to stay home, and just what a special blessing that will be when you get older and can think back to this time together. In Jesus' name. Thanks for coming up. Bye-bye.